ladies and gentlemen, Team Goldie.
Catch on to these upbeat words, to these upbeat songs. You be deaf as hell, pressing along, not knowing the devil about you. This is the rebirth of old colors. I put the bass back in basement, love the shoes to be green with a PhD and get down between the covers. Oh brother, it's criminals and close boys become. I'm clinical, I'm typically young. I'm better when I'm getting all the things that I want. So make art takes out the branch from the chopped tongues. Oh, you know who wrote the book and clip lies, still lies and give it dirty looks well. Start to list all the dirty crooks when both are a telephone or off the hook. I call you up and I didn't get an answer. So baby, you're a heartbreak dancer. I called you up and didn't get an answer. Baby, you're a heartbreak dancer. So whispering campaign of pop songs and pop corks of a bottle of champagne. Hey, I'm tasting summer on my lips and just picking up for red hips. Getting thin about the minute, you know we're all part-time sinners and full-time sinners. So jet and then listen. Today's lesson is built from your speakers. The class getting down and I will be a teacher. Oh me, oh my, surprise, surprise. I got these bright ideas and even brighter rise. I gotta listen to man to the taste it. If you have a chance, take it, then start erasing every single last backup plan. Throw your heart in the ring, cross your fingers, part your hands, because we're taking it all back, baby. I called you up and I didn't get an answer. So baby, you're a heartbreak dancer. I called you up and didn't get an answer. Baby, you're a heartbreak dancer. I called you up and I didn't get an answer. So baby, you're a heartbreak dancer. I called you up and didn't get an answer. Baby, you're a heartbreak dancer. Now I'm taking it all back, baby. I'm taking it back. I'm taking it back. I'm taking it all back, baby. I'm taking it back. I'm taking it back.
Oh man, that was great. Thank you so much for coming in and doing that.
Sure, man, no problem.
Do you want me to call it Goldie, Matt? What do you?
You can
what do
call me Matt.
Matt, all right. So the song you performed was "Heartbreakdancer,"
Yes.
and that's a newer song, older song.
No, it's an older song.
So is that on the New Year's Eve EP that they told me you recently released, or what's the story? with
They,
that? The producers. You know?
the producers. No, it's not on that. It's on a self-titled EP that I released a little while ago, and will potentially be re-recorded for a new record in the future.
So what's the deal with this record? Is it like, does it have even a slight release date, like sometime 2011?
Yeah.
Or will it?
Yeah, it has everything other than one song for the new record is already demoed and done. So I need to finish one more demo, and then I'll have the record done in demo form. And then I'm figuring out how I'm going to pay for it to record it and press it, and then I'll have it out as soon as that is sorted out. So it's pretty much money standing in the way right now. So hopefully, I'm aiming to have it out by the spring at the latest.
All right.
But we'll see.
Now this EP, the New Year's Eve EP.
Yeah.
Where, what is it exactly? I mean, I know an EP is, like roughly 5-6 songs
Right,
or
right.
shorter, but what? Obviously, one song is New Year's Eve.
Yes.
Where what else is on there? How can people get it? How can people hear it to decide if they want to get it? How much is it? All that.
So it really seems like more of a single than an EP. It's
Gotcha.
a song called New Year's Eve that's going to be on the new record in a slightly different form. And it's that, an acoustic version of the same song, and then a B-side called Palo Alto. That's a demo I did a while back that isn't going to be on the new record. And I just wanted to kind of put it out there. It seemed like the right time of year,
All right.
it being the new year, to put it out there. And wanted people to be able to hear something new. And so I just kind of, on a whim, decided to throw it up on the website Bandcamp. And it's up there, teamgoldie.bandcamp.com, and you can download the EP just did hand quotes, which is perfect for a podcast. The EP/single/whatever for $1 or whatever you would like to contribute.
All right, and is this a new sound? Like, does this sound like your old stuff? Is this a new sound you're going for? Why this particular song? Just because it fit in with New Year's Eve, or
right?
Is this
Yeah.
the song
That's the reason why I shared that song, other than any of the others. This song actually isn't really indicative of the new style of stuff as a whole or the old stuff. It's like a super fast, like punk rock song. It's like the fastest, shortest song I think I've ever written, and it's just really fun and high energy. And a lot of the other new stuff is more in a rock direction than some of the stuff I've done in the past, but it all feels really cohesive and feels like Team Goldie songs.
Now I've known you for a while.
Yeah.
I mean, I started talking to you just as you were getting ready to stop being MC Goldie Wilson,
Right.
which was what was before Team Goldie.
Yeah.
And I have a lot of the MC Goldie Wilson demos, and it's a very different sound.
It's very different.
I guess you went from singing about Washington fucking apples to singing about prostitutes on your last EP, or strippers.
Right. Yeah.
Like, where did it go from silly, goofy songs to kind of a dark, depressing song about the life of a stripper?
I don't think that song wasn't. I don't think I wrote that song from a literal standpoint. I think it was more metaphorical. But yeah, it was really gradual. I think song by song, when I was writing songs and recording songs at that time, each song would become something slightly different, and it gradually turned into what it is now, which is something completely different than it was, at the beginning. It was a sort of goofy hip-hop project, and a lot of the songs, in hindsight, are pretty terrible, and I have a tough time listening to them, but yeah, it was just a really gradual thing. There was never really any conscious decision to write songs a certain way or to take things more seriously. It was just like each song progressively became more and more closer to what it is now. And I think, with each song I write, for the most part, I am more happy with them than the last.
I mean, obviously it's a way different time era, but you say you're a little embarrassed by some. Are there any that, despite the fact that you'll probably never perform them again and never release them, are there a few that you listen to and you're like, for what this was actually really funny or well produced? Like, I know that there's one in particular, beyond the Washington Apple song, which I think everybody who's heard is just, for whatever reason, clung to that song because it's just so catchy.
Yeah,
but you have the one
song.
You have the one Nintendo song about
that was the first song that I ever wrote and recorded for what would become Team Goldie.
What was I can't remember what the
It was
game.
about Bad Dudes. The video game Bad Dudes. That's about the pace I was running at that time.
What was... You were saving, like, President Reagan or
well,
something?
I wasn't. That's the plot of Bad Dudes.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Right.
That was the plot of that game.
Was to save the president because the president had been kidnapped by ninjas. And the president at the time was Ronald Reagan, and an animated Ronald Reagan was in the game.
Do you see yourself... Do you think that you would have still been doing... If you didn't decide to move into Team Goldie, would MC Goldie Wilson still even be performing, or would that have died and you would have just kind of gone on to doing something else with your life beyond Team Goldie?
Well, I think it did die, and I think it almost feels like what it is now is almost a different band, but being that I'm the only band member, it's not like I broke up and started a new band.
Yeah.
But I kind of did start a new band almost. I mean, the songs are completely different.
Now,
it's just I almost think of it as a new band.
And while we're talking about bands, in the past I've talked to you, and I would say maybe 2 years ago when we were doing an interview for a different podcast,
mm-hmm.
and you had said the goal is one of these days to have a full band.
Yeah.
Do you still have that goal in mind?
Yeah,
Are you finding more fun trying to figure out how to do it all by yourself? Like, say you were to get a band, would the music still sound? Would you still do the album on your own? Like, almost. I mean, obviously it's a completely different genre, but Trent Reznor style, where you do the whole album by yourself, but then you just have a band that can replicate that sort of sound for live? Or would you want it to almost be, Gym Class Heroes style, where it's Team Goldie is the band with you, and they're in the studio recording the songs with you?
I mean, I'm definitely open to writing with other people if, the fit would be right. I mean, at this point, though, I have one full record written, and then I have, bits and pieces of the next record already written. And I feel like I'll probably end up writing the next record completely by myself, too, just because it's easy and I don't have to deal with other people.
Well, I feel like you doing it solo, it does give the songs a very distinct feeling, because it's, it's easy to say, like, okay, he's a white rapper that has kind of pop-punk influence.
Right. Well, I don't even rap that much anymore.
No, you don't really. But it's easy for people to be like, oh, like, especially in the early days, people would compare you to say, like, I even put you on a show with, like, MC Lars, and you get compared to MC Chris, but it makes
I played
sense.
shows with both of them.
It makes sense, but it's just like it's a different thing. To compare you to them doesn't completely make sense, because it's a completely different style. You have your sound is very distinct,
right?
And I feel like sometimes, like with a band, it would be hard to continue that distinct sound, because it does have that organic sound of one person doing multiple layers of guitar work and stuff like that, which. I guess you could technically still do with a band, but I mean that's just my opinion on that. What's the plan of release? Is this new CD in 2011, circa spring and/or summer?
Right. See, you're even pushing it back, because you're preemptively pushing it back to summer.
Well, I'm not going to preemptively push it into winter.
Fall 2011.
Is that going to be just self-released, or are you in talks with other labels, or are you just, I'm going to put this one out for myself and see how it flies?
I mean, I don't have any definite plans right now. If I were to come, across people who were like-minded and had the same vision that I did for the record and, for the project as a whole, I'm totally open to working with people to put it out. But, if that's not the case, then I'm more than game to put it out myself. I've put out everything I've done so far by myself, and it's worked out okay. So,
well, thank you for being on the show.
Of course, man.
I'll hit me up anytime if you need an opening act.
I will.
Saint Mort is always willing.
I will be sure to
embarrass himself in
do
front
some
of
Weird Al covers.
Do some Weird Al covers. Embarrass myself in front of a vast majority of people.
Yes.
I am shameless, as the listeners of this show will eventually learn as episodes come out. There is really no holds bars on what I say and do sometimes.
It's the truth.
And sometimes it backfires. But